I'm going to talk about the process of my experience with corneal cross-linking. Corneal cross-linking was a corrective surgery that was done for my keratoconus. Corneal cross-linking, I said correcting, but it's not so much of a correcting surgery as it'll stop the progression of the disease and slow it down, potentially. I'm going to explain prep before, what they do during surgery, and kind of what to expect afterwards. So, before the surgery, really the only thing you do is eye drops. They had me do eye drops, so I did my eye drops 3 times a day, 3 days before, and then comes the day of the surgery. So when the surgery comes, I took some medicine to help me calm down, and my surgery was about 1:30 p.m. So 1:30 p.m. I went to the office, and then after I went to the office, I checked in and everything. Insurance was already done, surgery was already paid for and covered, so I waited in the waiting room. I waited a little bit, and they came back and got me and said, "All right, it's time for your surgery." So they walked me back, and they kind of inspected my eyes beforehand just to see, made sure it was my right eye, put a little sticker on top of my head, said, "Okay, it's time to do the surgery." So they started with numbing drops, and I don't know exactly how long they did the numbing drops for, but they did it, and they made sure they did it. I mean, it was probably 10, 12 minutes or something they did the numbing drops. Then the doctor came in, he said, "All right, it's time for your surgery to begin," and he used what I believe is called a slit lamp, and he was examining my right eye, and they gave me a couple more numbing drops, and what they do is they take the top layer of your eye off, the top layer of your cornea. So I know it sounds crazy, like you're awake during this, and they scrape the top layer, they cut it off. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I thought I would need, it really wasn't that bad. That part of it actually wasn't even the worst part of the experience for me. So moving on, they keep giving you numbing drops throughout, but then they move to the collagen eye drops, I believe, and they have vitamin B3, I think, or some vitamin B of some sort. They give you the vitamin B, and that part of it's actually a long time. So for the first 30 minutes, they give you the vitamin B, and then they put this thing in your eye, and that's actually going to be a thumbnail of my video, what you saw in your eye. It opens your eye. I forget what the device is called, but that feels weird. You can literally feel the metal like in between your eye and between your eyelid. You can really feel it in your eyelid. But once again, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It really was worse than I thought it was going to be. So they put that device holds your eye open, and then they start injecting the same eye drops, but they use a UV lamp, and they put it close to your eye, real close to your eye, and it starts just so bright. It's like a trippy music video almost, if you can kind of imagine that. Like red, you see colors, and then your eye. That part of it really, I think, was one of the worst parts of it. But still not the worst part of the experience. I'll get to that. And they do that for 30 minutes while injecting you with the B3 drops, while also injecting numbing drops so you don't feel it. Anyway, after that part is done, then the surgery's over. So for me, the worst part was I was laying on my back, just laying on that table with that device still in my eye, and just waiting and waiting and waiting. They really weren't in any hurry to get that thing out of my eye. Really, my back started hurting, I think, was the worst part of my experience. My back, it just, oh God, it hurt so bad. Um, Anyways, after that, doctor came, removed the device, said, okay, everything looks good. Put a protective bandage contact. It's a contact that goes over your eye, a thin, and I had to keep that in for 4 days. Anyway, got that contact out, or I'm sorry, didn't get that contact out, kept that contact in, went home, and that is kind of a couple hours after is when the pain started. There was some slight pain. It really wasn't too bad. It wasn't real pain, but the pain started, and that first day really sucked, and my eye was sensitive. I was able to go to bed. I took some medicine to kind of calm me down and help me get to bed, but day 2 I found was my worst day. Day 2 I was still very sensitive to light, very sensitive to light. Couldn't even watch TV without my eyes starting watering, and just so you guys know, the irritation and the watering and the scratchy feeling, kind of like sandpaper in your eye, that is all part of the process. That is all normal. If you experience that, don't worry, that part's normal. Anyways, so day 2 really was my worst one, and day 2 I didn't have a lot of pain. It was just sensitivity, and I kept that I put an eye patch on at one point because I'm like, I want to watch TV, I want to play video games, and even though I had that eye patch on, something about eyes, like my left eye was still real sensitive. Eyes are kind of a weird thing, but anyways, the first 2 days are uncomfortable. 3 days, after day 3 it starts really getting better, and by day 4, I mean, it's pretty much back to normal. So after 4 days, that Friday, I ended up going back and getting my bandage contact, got my bandage contact out, and they said everything was normal. They said everything looked good. They looked at my eye with that slit lamp again to examine it. Everything looking good. So I'm still on these eye drops. I'm in it right now, almost 2 weeks, about a week and a half since I've had the surgery. But really, I can't complain. I mean, it was fairly straightforward, and it was real easy, and I've enjoyed my time off work. They gave me a week off work. And just to heal, they'll give you about a week. A week's all it takes, sometimes 2, depending on, how your eye recovers. But overall, not too bad of an experience. My vision's actually 20/80, so my left eye is real good, 20/20, but this one is the 80 one, and it's 4 times as worse as my right eye. But hopefully with this surgery, it keeps my eye from getting any worse, and I can get it fitted with glasses, and I've even considered the scleral contact, but that's going to be about a month. I have a 1-month checkup to see if everything went okay. After that month, they should know a little bit more where my vision's going to sit. But guys, don't be afraid to get the surgery. It's not that bad. I hope this has kind of helped and clarified some things for you guys, and if you need it, definitely pursue it. Alright guys,